Hello everyone, and welcome to the third and final video in the series from the War of the Five Kings tournament held at Worlds 2015 at the FFG Event Center in Roseville, Minnesota. On the left we have Neil the Real Deal from the Summer is Coming video podcast you can see on Tiny Grimes' YouTube channel. I'll link that below. He is playing Targaryen Fealty. And on the right we have Sam Braatz, I believe from Wisconsin. And he is playing House Martell, Banner of the Rose. And you'll see there he has the wooden House Martell card because he placed top Martell player in the Swiss for this tournament. So each top player who had the best showing for their faction received the wooden house card for that faction. So he's playing with it there. And with the flops here, we have Neil getting out Ser Jorah, Rhaegal, and Viserion, and a Rose Road. So that's a pretty juicy start. Very efficient in the gold there and card spread. And Sam sees on Olenna's Informant, which is not bad on setup, but always better to drop that in during challenges to get its ambush ability off, letting it do an extra challenge of a type you signify. And we have Marjorie Tyrell, a Rose Road, and it looks like Sunspear, the Martell location there, which if you've lost a challenge, you can trigger Sunspear to raise the claim on challenges of the same type that you initiate. And for plots, Sam flips Calm over Westeros, and Neil flips a Noble Cause, and I'm not sure the Calm over Westeros play there. I'm not sure if they've set it up. Try to catch it. You guys may have heard it already. Oh, he names Intrigue. Okay, we did not miss it. I actually caught a Calm over Westeros in a commentary for probably like the first time ever. So it is Intrigue. Claim that will be reduced by 1 for Neil when he's initiating Intrigue challenges. So we're into marshalling. Looks like Neil's first player pops a King's Road. Neil's Fealty. Oh man, what's he dropping here? And Daenerys Targaryen is out. Round 1. Here we go. We're in the top 4 here, guys. So the winner of this will move on to the finals. And they will move under the Fantasy Flight live stream camera there. Obviously, this is after that that I'm posting this. So you can see that finals game on Fantasy Flight Games Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/FFG Live in their past broadcast section. They were telling me there that they'll eventually have them up on YouTube. But at the time of this recording, I don't believe they were there yet. But if they are, I will link them below, and I'll also put a link below to Neil's video podcast on YouTube to Tiny Grimes' channel there, so you can see that in the description below for sure. And it looks like you got a Drogon on the table and sitting on 1 gold, and we're passing to Sam Braatz, and let's see what he marshals. So Sam is playing a what they call a mini curve deck. This was a little bit of the rage before Worlds. Even myself, I was working on a Martell, or a Lannister to Martell mini curve deck, but I decided not to go with that after all. I put a few more big guys in. Didn't focus on Varys, but I had a deck with me that did, but I decided not to go with it. But looks like I made the wrong call because Sam has made it here to the top 4 using this style of deck where the biggest cost unit is a Varys, and then he plays like Knight of Flowers is his 5 coster, but doesn't have a 7 cost bomb in the deck. Only 6 and lower. And playing Martell as your primary house. This was the faction that was between them and Night's Watch, which were considered to be the least tournament ready houses from the core set. But here we are in the final 4 decks at the War of the Five Kings. We have House Martell. And Varys is duped. So it looks like he'll be sticking around until Dominance, where he can be triggered, unless he gets burned, which we did see in the top 16 match. So if you haven't seen the top 16 or top 8 videos I've posted for this series, go back and watch those too. It's all different players. I try to grab different matches each round. So we had a variety of different players in the video series, and just in addition to the videos posted by Fantasy Flight. So it looks like we got a military challenge of 4 with Drogon, which goes unopposed, and Olenna's informant bites the dust for claim. So it looks like Sam did hold back. I mean, he did drop Varys out, which is 6 gold, which is kind of a big drop. But if you look at the boards, it looks like Neil kind of went, you know, kind of heavy, and Sam looks to take advantage of that by blowing it all up and sending to the discard pile by triggering Varys and Dominance. So it looks like an intrigue, I believe, with Danny. No claim, but he does get insight, renown off Danny, and unopposed. But it looks like he did not trigger Rhaegal's ability to stand Danny after winning.
I'm gonna take an action. Yeah. Waking the dragon on Danny.
And he uses Awaken the Dragon to stand Danny. I'm a little puzzled there. Neil, if you're watching, comment below. Let us know what went on there. Did you just forget the Rhaegal ability and then realize you could recover? Were you trying to just get cards out of your hand? I don't know how many you have there to get down to reserve, maybe, but yeah, strange play. Because he does have all 3 dragons out, which means it's Super Danny on the board. But my money would be on that Varys sitting across the board. It's definitely put some pressure on Neil and it's made him a little uneasy there.
So she goes to hand.
Oh, I see. Okay. Neil is a better Targaryen player than I am. I'll admit that now, obviously. But I forgot about Waking the Dragon's return to hand ability. So he pulls Danny back to save from the Varys removal, which is huge. So good on you, Neil. Great play. Forget what I said. I see why he did not trigger Rhaegal. But if I read correctly on the interwebs there and the rules forums on CardGameDB, I believe you can use Waking the Dragon on a standing character and still put them back into hand at the end of the challenge phase. So maybe Danny should still be in play if the challenges phase is not over yet. I believe it's at the end of phase. Let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong. Oh, yeah, I guess it was the end, and we are in dominance, and there goes Varys. He discards all characters, removes Varys from the game. The dupe from Varys falls off, goes in the discard pile, and all the other characters on the board were discarded.
Yes, I do. This is what I was just...
And it looks like a Braided Warriors is discarded to meet reserve. Neil did have more cards in hand than the 6 on his Noble Cause. And we're in the second round plot phase here. So I want to take this moment to say if it's your first time here and you've popped by this video from Reddit or Facebook or whatnot and you haven't seen any of my videos, make sure you subscribe below. I post Game of Thrones videos every week, couple weeks, depends on how busy I get, but I try to post live streams and tournament games like this, even casual play games, try to show off new cards before they're out kind of thing. I hope to get some videos up with taking the black cards used in them as I grab that at Worlds. And yeah. Also make sure you click the like button below there if you like what you see. Help get more recognition on the videos and get more people here. Get some more players checking this video out, and maybe going out and buying some core sets and grow the player base. Looks like with his summons played by Sam, he searches out another copy of Marjorie. And looks like the heads on spikes grabbed a Knight of Flowers there. So Neil, with the power grab there, is now up to 5 power against Sam 0. And we hit the draw phase. So with Knight of Flowers dead, that's, if you've looked at the deck list, I'll try to grab Sam's deck list and put that in the description below. I don't know if Neil's is online, but it looks like pretty, I mean, like Targ Fealty, it's, you know, they're pretty similar builds to other Targ Fealty decks, I'm assuming, because with the only 15 neutrals, you can't really shake it up too much yet with the limited card pool from the core set. But Sam's deck is pretty interesting. I've seen the list. I'll try to link that below so you guys can see. But the Knight of Flowers, he's basically the biggest guy in the deck, other than Varys. But Varys has other purposes besides winning challenges and gaining renown. So I think the Knight of Flowers is, like, you know, his beefiest character for winning. So he plays a green-blooded trader there. Gets to look at the top 2 cards of his deck. Choose up to one of those to keep, and put the other one on the bottom of the deck. We have the King's Road in play on Sam's side. 2 gold remaining. See how he recovers from his Varys board wipe here. Definitely could put a Marjorie on the board using that King's Road. And still have 2 resources. But he drops Arrow Hota for 3, and he's a 5 strength and a military icon, and a Garden Caretaker for 1. So not a bad spread of dudes there. Has 1 of each icon, which is always good. So if possible, he could win the challenges he needs to win, and stop the unopposed on challenges he wants if he chooses so. So Neil collects 5 resources. Let's see what Neil can do here on marshalling. And he drops a Littlefinger for all of his money. Draws 2 cards. I guess he didn't have many weenies in his hand there. Oh, maybe he does. So he's got an Illyria's Estate, and uses that to reduce the cost of Viserys Targaryen and gets him in play. And if he can keep Littlefinger on the board, he's got a +1 gold for the next round to help his economy out. But there are no attachment targets right now in play for Viserys, so most likely he's going to be some claim soak.
So, 7. Is that 1 gold that you have left?
Yep. I'll just be putting it on there for the future.
Good to know. Yes.
We're just clearing up that that is 1 gold left on Sam's side, sitting on top of his deck. And that's where he likes to keep his gold. Most people put it on their plots from what I've seen, but I did see a couple players at Worlds putting it on top of their deck. So it looks like we have a blocked intrigue challenge and then a military challenge unopposed. Viserys will die. And Sam now has some power on his house card. So we're currently at 5 for Neil and 1 for Sam. And we have an unopposed power challenge. Springboard Sam up to 3 and Neil down to 4.
Got some challenges.
Got no challenges.
And no challenges for Neil. We're on to dominance, which Sam will also take that. Now we're at a tie game, 4-4. So looks like Sam recovered pretty good from that Varys, and going first was definitely huge. Which I'm not sure the best play there. I mean, I didn't know what Neil had in hand, but he did play the 6 initiative, so he got to choose who went first. Sometimes it's a little rough to go first when the board's completely empty, but you got to go by what's in your hand, and if you think you can defend some military or not. But I find it's always good after playing Varys and wiping the board to try to go first if you have the cards to recover. I mean, you shouldn't be blowing up Varys if you don't, but if you can get enough little weenies on the board and you can push some challenges at your opponent. You can really get some challenges through there, and you know, kill an important character maybe. Or sometimes if you put enough military out just in marshalling, and they look at their hand and you know, they can only afford one character, they may not put down any character just because they don't want them to die. It's a claim, so you might get, you know, a clear board that you can just run wild with unopposed challenges. And it looks like Sam drops March to the wall, and Neil's playing a Calling the Banners. So Neil will collect 3 gold. Unless March to the wall goes off first, then Neil will only collect 2 because Sam will only have 2 characters in play. So let's see who Sam decides to go first. It's his call with 8 initiative. And remember, he does have a Sun Spear in play, so going second is not a bad thing when you can choose to bump your claim up on one of your challenges that you lose.
I'll go first and trigger my first.
Looks like Sam chooses himself to go first and triggers March to the wall. And Neil, sorry, only takes 2 gold because there's only 2 characters left on the other side of the board after that. And it looks like Sam will be marshalling first with 5 gold. Alright, so he drops a Martell Reducer. Marjorie Tyrell hits the board. He gets a Blood Orange Grove out there to reduce the Martell character. Or Martell card in general. But, yeah, so good economy, good characters. And sitting on 2 gold on top of his deck there. And it looks like we're over to Neil for marshalling. And he's holding 6 gold. Seeing what's on the board, looking at strength values, an icon spread across from him. Oh, looks like some camera adjustment there. I remember the camera was on the table beside them, and it was being wobbled and bumped by some players who were watching. So I tried to move the camera so it's completely on the table where the players are, because they weren't moving their table at all. So I apologize for the adjustment there. It's a little crooked, but it'll do. We can still see all the cards.
So we want to start by milking Marjorie.
Milk of the poppy on Marjorie. $5 gold remaining for Neil. Does have a mitt full of cards there. I'm not sure what he can play though. I wish we could see them, but they're a little high angle there. Can't really see what he's got. But I mean, you gotta think if you're going second, like I said before, you got a 5 strength Arrow Hotas staring at you. So he definitely can push through a military challenge, unless you can get something out bigger. Then there's his Dracarys play, I guess. You got to kneel a dragon to do that, so he's got to get a couple dragons on the table to even stop the military. Still early in the game, though, so still a lot of power to be had for whoever's going to win this. So, I mean, you got to start building up slow. But if Neil doesn't put on any characters right now, the game could run away on him in Sam's favor. I think Neil just passed on marshalling. So he was in that situation I described earlier. Maybe he had only big characters and didn't want to put one out to basically die from military claim. It's not like Lannisters where that gold sitting on the house card could just mean a character coming in later. I believe all Targaryen characters, other than coming from your dead pile with dragons, are gonna stay in his hand. So looks like we have an unopposed power. We had the unopposed intrigue, which got a Daenerys Targaryen in the discard pile there for claim of the intrigue challenge.
Yeah.
So 5 gold remaining. Looks like Sam chooses not to do a military challenge and just take dominance. Looks like we're going to round 4. We're in the plot phase now. And Sam drops Muster the Realm, is it? Basically after it's 4-9-1. After you win a power challenge, move a power from your opponent's house card to yours. And Neil drops Summons, so he's going to be digging for a character. I think our score is Sam, I think, sitting on 6, maybe 7 power if he's got a extra power token piled up there. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell from this angle against Neil's 3 power. So it's funny, you're seeing Vari's 101 here, where one player basically, just remember Neil's board at the start, he's got Danny, all 3 dragons out, and Sir Jorah, and a Rose Road, it looks like he's got the dominant board, and just against the Marjorie and Varys, and yeah, look at the board now. Varys clears it out, and Sam recovers better, and now we got 2 cards on the board for Neil against 7 for Sam. I guess Neil has 3 if you count the Milk of the Poppy. Sam's deck is definitely built to recover from that Varys better than his opponent, obviously. Alright, we got Viserion and an Unsullied. No Intrigue icons on Neil's side, but the Unsullied does -1 strength to defending characters that are participating in the challenge while the Unsullied is attacking. And Viserion's the dragon that gives Danny stealth. But now we got 2 Danny copies in the discard pile, right? One from Intrigue and one from the Varys discard. So we won't see a dupe Danny for the rest of the game, if at all. And Sam's going to Marshall here. Looks like he collected 5 gold. He has a pretty good presence on the board. You don't want to overcommit with Wildfire running around, because Neil is in a good spot to do Wildfire next turn, and it will hit Sam right now. I mean, it'll only get rid of a reducer, but he drops right. Right is on the board from House Tyrell there. So he is a 2 with a military icon for 2 strength. If he finds left and gets him out in play, they both don't kneel to defend, and they each get +1 strength to each other. And one gains a power icon, one gains an intrigue icon. Looks like an intrigue challenge of 3 with Marjorie. Oh, changes his mind.
You have 6 cards in hand. 7.
I think he just realized the Dracarys possibility and backed off there. Instead starts with a military of 7. Trying to kneel out that dragon on the defense. Maybe to block the unopposed, maybe be claimed. You never know. But at least you'll know if he's saving that dragon for other uses. So yeah, I think you see no intrigue icons across the board. I made this mistake before with my Tyrion, and you get excited and you throw Tyrion in the challenge, or you're a decent intrigue character, and then all of a sudden they're kneeling a dragon and kneeling Fealty and burning that character away with Dracarys. Similar to trying to do an intrigue against Stark with a standing direwolf. You always got to watch out for that like warm rain event. Same thing. Don't get too excited with those intrigue challenges if you see no intrigue across the board. Play it safe. And we do get a Dracarys, so Sam was careful there, but he had to do it anyway. So, oh, he blocks it with a Hands of Judgment. And Tears of Lys on Viserion. So the intrigue will go through. Unopposed. Claim. Wow. I think we got a power challenge of 1 here with the Desert Scavenger.
I'm first player? Yes, because I passed my challenges. Awaken the Dragon.
And he plays Awaken the Dragon to stand Viserion.
Okay, sure.
And he removes the icons with confinement after Neil plays his event. So Neil wanted to block, but he said, hold on, I have an action. So Sam played his action. Took away the icons on the dragon, because he's 4 strength or less. And that power challenge will go unopposed. So because Awaken the Dragon was played, Viserion will go back to Neil's hand.
2 away.
And it looks like, I just heard Neil say, Sam is 2 power away from winning. He should have 13 power on his house card there. And Sam plays his second summons. And there's that wildfire I called. Except for I thought Neil would still have a character or 2 on the board. So looks like the Garden Caretaker and the Desert Scavenger were chosen for wildfire. Kind of obvious there. And here we go. Searching the top 10. I see an area on there. I think I just saw left. See another green-blooded traitor. Will he make the internet go wild and drop left in play with right? Searching it with a summons, living the dream? Or will he go with the bigger bomb character like Arion and start doing some, jumping back to hand? And he chooses a green-blood traitor. It's going to give him some card replacement, aka card draw. Definitely saw lots of options there to choose, so based on what the status of the game is and how his future plans are, he had lots of choices to choose which route he wanted to go, and he chose to go put a weenie on the board and draw some cards, which is always good. So he reduces, it's like Sam is first, I believe. Yep, Sam is first, collects his gold. Reduces by 2 with the Blood Orange Groves. Drops that green blood trader he just searched. He's going to look at 2 cards. Keep 1, put the other one on the bottom. Just double checking his hand here to see which one goes best with the rest of the cards in hand. I love those green blood traders. I like them from first edition. They used to be called House Messengers. I like them. I just wish they weren't basically the only card draw in Martell, because they're really just card replacement, but it is quality. You do get to look at 2 cards at least, so there's some value there. And there's a King's Road played to get Maester Calliote in play, who when he participates in a challenge he loses. You can trigger his reaction and remove an icon from a character.
Reduce.
And there's the 3rd copy of Danny, and Neil concedes. Congratulations to Sam on making it to the finals for the War of the 5 Kings. He will be on Fantasy Flight's live stream after this game here, which you can go see that game on Fantasy Flight's Twitch channel, which I said earlier. And, yeah, or you'll see it on their YouTube channel. So congrats to these guys for making it to the top 4, and the other 2 players that were also in the top 4. And thanks for letting me film you guys. You guys are awesome. Good sports. And yeah, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment below if you like what you see. Thanks for watching the War of the Five Kings series. I will be posting more videos of Game of Thrones, sorry, in the future. So make sure, like I said, subscribe so you guys get notified when those come out. And again, thanks for watching.